You recently created a DVD, Service Learning in International Schools, A World of Possibilities, a comprehensive set of resources and information for all schools.
Exactly.
You have relationships with and present at conferences of numerous international school associations, including the European Council for International Schools, and I think you've done that for a while.
Yes.
And the Central and Eastern European School Association. This year alone, it's tiring to read the list. You will have journeyed, and this is, of course, in addition to all the places you visit around the United States. You will have journeyed to Hungary, Belgium, the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Croatia, Poland, and China. You have actually also just been elected to the board of directors of the International Center for Service Learning in Teacher Education. Cathy, why this focus particularly on international schools and service learning in other countries? And also, could you say just a little bit about this International Center for Service Learning in Teacher Education?
Yes,
I've
absolutely.
heard of it.
So I became engaged in international work in part because of a phone call from my good colleague and friend Don Hill. He asked me if I would consider speaking at the European Council for International Schools conference at the south of France in Nice a few years ago. And ironically, my daughter was doing work in the south of France in college, and we were going there at the same time in the conference. Well, little did I know that my entryway into this group would really be perfect timing for so much interest in the international schools all around the world and this whole idea of service and learning. And so it just kind of sparked, and so I started traveling, and I realized when you travel around the world, there's obviously so much to learn, and it brought more insight to me about how to do service learning in the United States as well as overseas. So it's been quite a lesson, doing workshops in Johannesburg to really see the difference in a place that still has so much poverty and so apparent all the time and so many deep social justice issues going on, or doing work in China, which is a completely different setup, or doing work in Barcelona. Each place is very unique, and it helped me understand how we have to look at our own communities in different ways and assess them thoroughly and really see what's going on and not take superficial understanding at all as face value as what's really meaningful. So the international schools have a great interest in service learning and have really jumped on board. So I'm thrilled to go wherever they would like to invite me. The international schools where I go is all spoken in English, so that works for me. I'm unfortunately not as bilingual or trilingual as I'd like to be. And these were founded for the children of diplomats initially, and then business people and local people. So there's these beautiful blends of people from around the world. So you might have people from 30 different countries at one school. It's really quite remarkable. And so imagine what you could do with service learning with people that bring all these different perspectives together. So when I go there, though, I really do know I have to leave everything I know about service learning from the United States behind. These are unique environments. I'll give you a quick example that if you're doing service learning in Poland, for example, in Warsaw, and a community that speaks Polish and you don't speak Polish, you've got issues right there. Plus, if it's a former communist bloc country, there's no ethic of service behind this. So this one colleague of mine from Budapest, he said it took him 5 years to make the first connection with a community organization because there was no rapport. Hospitals will say, why would we want kids to come here? No, tell the kids to go to school. We don't want the parents to come to anything. It was such a learning curve for so many places in the country to get on board. I think what's helped in the last few years are events like Katrina or events like Haiti that people say, oh my gosh, the whole world does respond. And it's a lot easier now to break through. Plus, there's many international groups, and many groups that were national, like in the United States, like Special Olympics, have become international, or Habitat for Humanity. So we have these threads running through all these nations that are very helpful. So service learning is thriving in many parts of the world. I hear Argentina is ahead of us. Barcelona, I went not to work with international schools, but they have some of the best collaboration between government and community foundations and universities and schools. And it's just brilliant what's going on in Barcelona. So between the international schools and invitations just to work with international communities, it's helped me understand better how to help kids in the United States make meaningful global partnerships. So that's been very effective. Now with the DVD, I hope people will access this. It is an incredible compilation of examples of service learning in international schools, which really can fit in any school, plus 16 organizations that are world organizations that would be glad to work with schools, again, around the globe. So I hope you will access this. Again, you can go to my website to find it easily, abcdbooks.org, and you can use that as a portal. It is free to download, and it's just rich with materials and resources. The International Center for Service Learning and Teacher Education was founded several years ago and was first at home at Clemson University and has recently moved to Duke University. And it is a consortium of people and advisory group that's really helping to make sure we promote service learning as a teaching practice around the globe as part of university education and also for existing teacher education and professional development. We've had 2 international conferences. One was in Brussels about 5 years ago, probably about 5 years ago. And it was a great meeting with people from, I believe, 19 different countries. So at the conference in Brussels, we had the author of High Noon, 20 Global Issues in 20 Years to Solve Them, came and spoke. And it was just so inspirational for us to see what we can really wrap our work around to really make a difference as a global community. And then we had a conference 2 years later in Galway, Ireland, which was, again, about 17 international countries participated. That was trains, planes, and automobiles to get there, but it was worthwhile. So we're having another conference soon in Duke University, and it's a great way to come together, meet people from around the globe, and really see this growing impetus to build and to learn from and with each other about teacher education. It's a great organization to know about and to participate in.